around the water like we are. Okay, saltwater. I don't think that's in the basic of casting. There's not much difference between saltwater and freshwater. None. But we have some specialty considerations like wind, heavy fly, fast-moving fish. But the wind aspect was covered by my friend Matt Howell. Covered very well, so I'm gonna skip it. And I want to concentrate on the quick cast, heavy fly. Okay. What can you do in a saltwater situation, typical saltwater situation, to accommodate big flies or a quick cast? One thing you can do is to think seriously about the fly line. In freshwater situation, I think, to be honest, I do a lot of fishing with the really old SA Supra. I can get by maybe 90% of the freshwater situation. But in saltwater, I have tons of lines lined up. Because of the temperature, because of the fly I use, because of the size of the fish, I use tons of lines. And nowadays, it's a really good time because they have so many special tapers like that. For example, this is the Magnum taper, which is designed to deliver heavy fly close to medium range. This is not a good line for super distance casting. This is really comfortable. It's medium to long, medium to usual distance up to like 30 meters. Okay, so I use a lot of this kind of integrated head, which is colored separately. And this is very important for me to know where is the head and where's the running line. In order to be quick, you have to know the connection, junction of the head and the running line. So usually, either I use a two-tone line like this, or I mark the end of the head, maybe with a permanent marker, with maybe a heat shrink tube, to exactly know what's going on, how much overhang I have in the air, just like steakhouse. Okay, so that's fly line. So you have to match the fly line's profile to the fishing you do. One comment about the leader. To be honest, I'm old school, so I tie up all the saltwater leaders, partly because I'm not totally happy with the knotless leader, especially for saltwater. They tend to be really thin-butted. I want the leader nylon to be maybe 75 to 80% of diameter of the fly line tip, and most of the commercial available fly leader, knotless, is a little bit thinner side. So I use my butt a little bit to beef up to make the traditional power smooth.
How many pounds is that?
This is 8 weight, and I use 40 to 50 pound. Medium to soft nylon, like Ande or very brass even. If you use a really hard nylon like Mason, well, you have problems.
Bill, say, do you actually measure the end of the fly line with a micrometer? Or do you just...
Ballpark.
Pardon?
I do just ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So,
What kind of connection do you use, Bill?
this one, to the end, I use loop to loop from 12 to up. But I really like the nail knot up to 10.
So up to 10 weight line?
Yes, yes. And this is a fused connection.
Yep.
It really hinges and it gives a weird wet profile. So I usually cut it.
Yep.
Even either I make it shorter, like really small loop,
Yep.
or nail knot. A nail knot is a really good connection, believe it or not. If you do it properly,
Yep.
it'll catch them all in action. So you don't have to. I'm not a big fan of the fused fly line tip. So, sorry I say. Alright. Leader. So you should be careful about the leader construction. So basic formula, for me at least, is 70% of the tip diameter. Ballpark is fine. And it's usually better to err on the fat side instead of a thinner side. What else I can do with the leader? Leader, connection. Okay, Let's go into the casting.
Actually, Bill, just before you go on, quick question. What would be the split between floating and sinking lines? Like
in saltwater situation?
Yeah, like 40%, 50% floating?
Really, it really depends on the style of the fish. Yeah. I mean fishing, but I usually like to fish flat.
Yeah.
Sight fishing, 90% floating. Okay. Maybe 10% sinking, but mainly intermediate.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, if you like to dredge the channel or something, maybe 90% of the line is sinking. Yeah. I guess. What else? What else do I have to tell you? Yeah, okay. Quick cast. The basic is to get your line or get your weight, in other words, out of a rod tip as much as possible at the beginning of the cast in the reasonable range. If you have too much of line out of the tip, like that, or maybe a little bit more, it's really difficult to go into the cast like that. It's clumsy. So you have to come up with a certain length of line out of the rod tip. My ballpark is like 1.5 rod length, like that. Grab the seam fly. Now a lot of people grab the fly line, tip line. This is not so efficient. You have to grab somewhat in the middle like that. By doing this, you can handle a long line, especially if you are standing up on the flat stiff. So this is a basic way of gripping for a quick cast. Right. Okay. The basic idea. If you find a fish, you just let it go, swing it around. 1, 2. You better be quick, because usually saltwater fish move really fast, and if you waste one more false cast, like when you can get by with 2 false casts, if you go 3, the fish will change angle. And angle is everything in saltwater fly fishing, I think. Can I use a volunteer? Oh, thanks. Could you move? From the corner up to where you were sitting. I mean, really, brisk.
You might want someone faster, Bill. You better warm up, mate. Yeah. It's a groper.
Definitely a groper.
Definitely a groper.
I really should. Okay. Oh, that's a very good top of speed. If I use 3 false casts, whoa, that's a bad angle already. Because I want to present the fly in front of him.
Yep.
As if the fly is swimming away from him.
Yep.
So if I could have hit him right here, I could have manipulated the fly as if it was swimming away. Like so.
Follow it, go eat it.
With a big gobbler.
One wasted false cast can lead. Here you come. Oh, he's coming. One more false cast will result in that. And that is a bad angle.
Yeah.
Because the fly comes to his face. And he doesn't like it. Most of the fish doesn't like the fly to come toward his face.
It basically attacks him, eh?
Yes. It's amazing. Big tarpon like that, 120 pounds, they still have the small fly to come toward it. Really small. So I have to be really quick to do it again. Maybe 2 false casts. Alright. Come on, Simon fish. 1, 2. Thank you. Okay, that's much.
Well done, groper.
Good on you, grouper.
Good topping.
The giant topping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the emphasis on the giant,
Really good
not a baby top on.
You really have to learn how to backshoot with a full cast. Start from the typical saltwater grip. Hold the line. Bring it around. Backshoot, front shoot. So you have to be able to backshoot. Extend the line on the back. Have a nice tight line on the back, and then go. So you should be able to practice backshooting. A lot of trout guys concentrate on force shooting. You hang on to this. Extend it, hold it, extend it. This is gonna waste one full cast. Can be one fish. So I really want you to practice on the backshoot. And then go.
So Bill, when you're doing that, you've still got tension on the line with your fingers as you're shooting on the...
Slowly slide it,
Yeah,
but you gotta feel it.
just feathering it, yeah.
Yes. I always keep it in contact.
Yeah.
That's why he's got that constant tension in the bottom obviously.
No, he doesn't,
Yeah.
doesn't lose
I
it.
fish with a lot of saltwater novices, and I take them on a boat and put them in a quick cast situation. A lot of guys start the cast like this, and they kill the back cast because it doesn't have the power to go out.
Pick up and
So
lay down.
always we have with the start with the tight line like that. If you pick up from the water like this, really tight line, just like you pick up, and then go. If you start with a tight line and give a nice juice to the stop, the line's gonna go.
It's wearing off.
You can lift up maybe this much into the slack. This is gonna kill the back cast, and you have to give one more false cast, which may result in a lost fish, lost opportunity. Okay, so quick cast. What else? Let me just look at my memo. Okay. In the wading situation or boat fishing situation, what I often use is the water hole. If you want to become really lazy, but still want to extend the line quick, I just dump it back just like that, and then go like that. You can utilize the water tension to extend, give the rod enough bend, energize it, and then go. I'm sorry. It's a real limited situation cast. You have to have the back clear back and the water, but utilize whatever. Use the water tension like that. Alright, like that. And then
So Bill, are you just dragging that around in the water like that, or do you just throw it back when you see a fish?
I just carry it like that, with the flat.
Yep.
Get the line like that. If I see a fish,
Yep.
I can just dump it,
Ah, yeah.
extend it,
Yeah.
dump it.
How do you deal with the slack, Bill, that's, around your feet? You just,
In here,
yeah.
I usually drag it.
Yep.
If I see a fish, I go with the board.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Or I have tried this, or even tried rib.
Yeah.
This is bad.
So you'd
I
never,
tried everything.
you wouldn't wade the flats with like an intermediate or anything, would you? Because that'd all be sinking.
In that case, I just drag it, position in front, and then
So what about using a stripping basket, Bill?
yeah, that's fine. But I don't like it because it's clumsy.
Yeah.
But the situation is like really coral, I would carry it,
Yeah.
no choice. But with the basket on, it's difficult to see the footing, so I just always strip
Yeah.
and pull. So dangerous. But sometimes it's necessary.
You need a clear plastic one, Bill.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was it?
Right, no one heard that.
Oh. There's some chance
Tackle
of
box, we'll do a deal.
Yeah.
What did he say?
So that's a quick cast situation.
I said no
Heavy
one
flies.
heard what the...
Let me
Have a
try
clear
and
stripping bar.
Yeah, you said just go
Some
buy
of
a
the,
little plastic
heavier
box. That's all you
bonefish fly.
from Kmart.
minus the bar of 1 point.
You'd have a magnified bottom for people with eyes that aren't so fast.
Take fish on the bottom and bottom what it looks like. It makes all the difference because you've got a lot of line in the water.
In a
and
saltwater
you pick it all
situation,
up.
we use really
current
nasty
floating
flies
away.
sometimes, like a clouser, 3 grams, or maybe even heavier, tungsten head, cone head, whatever. Like permit crab, this big, 5 gram. We have to use it sometimes. But in the case, we have to think about how safely and smoothly deliver it. The easiest thing you can do is, of course, sideways like that. If you can get by with that, fine. Personally, if you have an elevation of the boat or like that, I would use a lot of circle. Constant tension. Get it going. This is really safe because you don't unload. You have full control at least on the back. Swing it around. Swing it around. If we really do a typical false cast, this heavy fly is gonna kick and introduce a lot of slack. Like that. It's gonna kick and give you an ugly slack, which you have to remove before the real casting stroke. In order to avoid it, I would usually use the philosophy. This is safe. But, and this cast is almost always useful, except for the real calm situation, like no winds, failing, spooky fish like permit. And I'm sure permit will spook away like 100 kilometers if you deliver like this. They won't come back. So in that case, you have to think about how to give this heavy stuff land safely. What you can do.
Have it up.
Yeah, you can do almost a pendulum thing, like this. Climbing hook. Of course, this involves a sideways movement. The fly tends to kick a little bit to the left, but you have to live with it. Almost a curve.
Yeah.
But that's a little bit better than spooking the fish. So yeah, climbing hook is very good. Move the rock tip. You make a very big difference if you're chasing permit in a really calm day. Maybe you cannot get anything if you present the fly like that. If the wind is howling, this is a perfect cast, perfectly fishable cast. Dead calm day, no wind. So in that case, you have to use a pendulum or a climbing hook. Like so. And wish that the fly lands reasonably accurately. And then hope for the target. Questions? So far so good? Let me cut it. This is dangerous stuff. 3 grams. My advice about a saltwater rig. Usually saltwater rig is really heavy. Rods and reel, really heavy on your body. I can get by usual typical freshwater casting stroke, casting a style like this, but up from 9, 10, 12, I have a rather strong hand and a wrist, but still I get tired. What can I do to alleviate the strain? What I can do is to use a fulcrum, like so. instead of casting like this, everything is on me, on my wrist. Really tough. You cannot cast all day like this, especially 10 or 12. What can I do is to introduce fulcrum, relax during the first part of the backcast, like that. It's amazing how much relief it can give to you, because you know, post cast is this movement, you know, and you can almost rest first half of the backstroke by using this fulcrum. I can almost cast like that. You have no choice but to grab firmly on the first stroke. But on the back, you can really relax. And this will give you a lot of edge while you cast like 10 wet or 12 wet all day. This will give you a lot of rest and a lot of energy. So I want you to try this. You don't have to do this. I'm doing this to exaggerate the movement, but the trick is to delay the rotation of the wrist to the last moment. So use this. This is not for the fighting fish only. This is to aid your backstroke. Think about this. Okay. Any questions? One last comment. It's not a casting thing, but a grip. As I said, the grip is the most important component of the rod. And this is sometimes a really overlooked aspect of this tool. But ideally, this should be customized to your personal hand, because this is the contact, the only contact point to this really interesting tool. So it's gotta be customized.
So Bill, when you say that,
yeah,
how do you know, like I've got small chunky hand, how do you know how much to take off? What do you work out for your hand?
I want you to grip the rope like that.
Yep.
And squeeze it.
Yep.
If your pinky touches your palm,
yep,
that's the right grip, I would say.
Little finger.
Yeah.
Yep.
However, how you squeeze, if you go like that, that's a little bit beefy.
Yep.
And the beefy grip won't let you give a good cast, because you cast like that, and usually the grip plays in your hand.
Yep.
And won't give you a really tight loop.
Do you customize that yourself? Do you shape the grip yourself?
I do.
And how do you do that?
I use a emery paper, cut it in small section, and work on this like that.
Yeah, so you pull around.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I'm a low tech. If you go high tech, you can use lathe.
Yeah, too
you
much.
have to be careful. So the warranty coverage. I don't know how the warranty works in this country,
So
but some makers hate it.
That grip, stock grip that you've modified?
This one?
Yes.
No, this is from the factory.
So it's a stock factory.
Yes,
that
this is a factory grip, which is
so
fine.
did you have to take off a lot?
No, I did nothing to it.
So this is standard?
Yeah.
So Bill,
These days, the saltwater grip is getting smaller, which is fine. Sage is a little bit on the fat side, but I got a big hand. Yeah, but most of the our fellow countrymen have a smaller hand, and if they try to cast a nice back cast, they hand playing here, and they have a blister or some weird stuff in here going on, and they don't enjoy it. So be really careful about the grip size, especially in here.
Yeah, so you
so do you take the front and the back off and try and make it straight all the way through?
No, I always work on this area,
Yeah.
and this much is not important. So these two fingers, this is really important too. Anything else? So yeah, eliminate the false cast, try to cast safely, and choose the right line. That's my bottom line. Thank you very much.